Well, hello, Mr. Sunshine here. It is July 12th, um, only 3 days away from 2 full months, 8 weeks of my health journey. And yesterday was assessment day for exercise. Interesting, we were talking about prior to that, what could this guy show me that I haven't seen in my 60 years with all the different types of yoga, aerobics, weightlifting, running, triathlons, all the things that over the years I've tried. And he made an interesting comment from the beginning while he was doing my history before he started my actual physical assessment. He said, when you tune a guitar, do you tune each string the same way? And I said, of course not. If you did that, it would still be out of tune, just at a different level. And he goes, well, that's essentially that is what it is with your body. If you do yoga or aerobics or weightlifting or anything, and you're out of alignment or out of sorts with your body, all you're doing is strengthening the things that are already out of place and making it that much harder to get you back in balance. Um, so interesting concept. So we went forward with the testing, and a lot of it was, questioning what you can do. But then he got into the physical stuff, and most of it was a plumb line, looking at the symmetry of the body. And amazingly, I had um, a lot of different issues. From the lower end, pretty straightforward. Legs are okay, but my pelvis is tilted 9 degrees higher and inward on the left than it is on the right. So not just a little bit of a forward tilt, but a twist to boot. Needless to say, that twist continued up my spine and all the way to my neck. And of course, many of you will laugh at this one. He when he did the plumb line showing the alignment of my head and neck, my head was tilted slightly to the right. Do this with your eyes closed. And so to test, he said, do you think that's having any effect on how you do things? And I said, well, I don't seem to be, noticing anything. He goes, well, let's test that theory. So he put a blindfold on me and earmuffs and put me in a blacked out room, per se, next to a wall. And he said, now march in place with your eyes closed. But, I had the blindfold on anyway, but marched in place for 1 minute. When I took the he told me to stop. When I took the blindfold off, I had done a 180-degree turn. I was now facing the wall that I had my back to when I started. So clearly it is affecting how I move. Um, and he basically said I need to go to a cervical occipital specialist chiropractor to quote unquote get my head on straight. As you can imagine, if your head is crooked, and he asked if I ever had anything where I lost consciousness, and I told him, yeah, in 2012 I was hit by a car and blacked out briefly and broke 3 ribs and collarbone and a wrist. And he said, well, that may be where it happened. It may, if any impact hard enough to knock you out is hard enough to knock your head out of alignment. Um, and general chiropractic work does not repair that. You do need to go to a specialist. So we'll have to see how that goes. But he goes, that could explain the constant tension. Then he took photos with the plumb line in place, and you could see on the back of my neck how one side is very straight and muscular, and the other side is almost totally atrophied, where that part is out of whack. Also, because of the 5 shoulder surgeries I had, the pictures from my back not only showing the out of alignmentness, but the atrophy of the muscles behind the shoulder blades was very evident. So interesting. We'll see how that goes. Um, Moving forward, he gave me a stick, a big 6 foot um, redwood stick that I'm supposed to use to align my spine and head while I work on my core, which was very weak. All of the core assessments that he did, the tests show that I'm using all my major muscles to stabilize my core because it is so far out of whack, starting from my head being slightly off axis to my pelvis being tilted, and otherwise the curvatures are okay, which would explain a lot of the low back pain and injuries that I've had. Um, Said if you think walking in a semicircle while you're blindfolded is bad, no matter what you were doing, running, biking, whatever, you're probably holding your body in a position that is just accentuating the the tautness of those muscles. So basically, we have to develop a plan, and I'll go back tomorrow for phase two of the assessment and get some exercises to work on correcting the imbalance as best we can um, by strengthening the core muscles that are weak and trying to stretch the ones that are strong, um, so that you do get the muscles and the spine all back in balance. So that's where we are with that. In the midst of that, I am going to do a liver cleanse tonight. Um, uh, Leading up to it, I've been drinking um, apple juice, organic apple juice, for 32 ounces. And if you haven't done that before, you're in for a little surprise, or most, at least I was. It does cause a little bit of diarrhea, having 32 ounces of and this is no sugar added, but apple juice is very sugary. Um, so I guess that's to prep you for the cleanse of the liver, which is essentially a gallbladder cleanse, and any of the toxins that are in the gallbladder will get released with this cleanse. I'll give you the details of it after I go through it tonight, but it basically is Epsom salts, olive oil, and grapefruit juice are the components of it. And like I said, I'll give you the details of what I do after I do it tonight, and let you know what that experience is like. Anyway, hope you all are having a wonderful day. I got good news from friend Paul that Trish is doing wonderful. That's really good news to hear. So enjoy that grandbaby, and hopefully we'll get to see you guys in October when we come down to visit. Uh, all right, Mr. Sunshine out. Love you guys, and namaste.